Shalom and good day all. This is Tiffany 29, I think it is. And doing some a little bit different this time around in regards to my live streams. And I thought this time around about the expected comic book thoughts, theories, and of course, spoilers in comics. And of course, I'd like to share my thoughts in regards to the Super Saiyan teams and maybe release what could be some possible spoilers. Well, not the animated series, but the animated movie. That would be the nice to do. Another thing that I would definitely like to talk about is the character of Shin Nakamura. And my goodness, to those who have been following DC Comics, especially the super side. That's how I see it. You're Superman, he is super. And you must admit, there is quite a bit happening in the story. And this is where it actually puts you under the idea of its theories in the story that is Laura. Now, I was hoping someone else would be interested in they might be a little bit confused. But I'll still go after it. So I'm not so sure who will make it to the next in the chat section. Whoever does have to make it, thank you very much for making it. If it's after this, appreciate it. And first things first, let's jump into this sudden view. So let's take you to a couple of pages where we get to discuss this. This is CDR, and we're going to work on three, just the work lines. And look at these here. With the six up, the Superman, and as those who recently ended up with DC Superman, I didn't get to check it out. I didn't get to actually do it. But many people who didn't actually get to watch it, it's not actually a bit of a rehash and refresh of some things that came across me, including the Suicide Squad movie, last but not the not the Suicide Squad movie. There was thinking about the Injustice movie that recently came out. And that sometimes was actually up into his live stream, but instead of in regards to the story, it's going to be characters and film based on properly with now, some people might have a problem with the MCU, but I would like to bring up another series that also uses it, but I think it was okay just that series through. And that series is where so it could work out okay, but I think for this that this might be the perfect one. And the series is just the series features Sun's Batman, Superman, and Batman Venus near the Secret Universe sometimes too. While there isn't much known science of Superman in that in concept that goes back to the concept form concepts which the cult keeps there is a Superman in that appeared in world's finest comics issues four, with the Super Sons was featured in twice more recent years. Various explored the adventures of the Super Sons in a number of comic series, including the first 16 recent Super Sons 16 issues of the twice destroyed world, which is honored by 12 issues of Super Sons. I want to say one thing. Good job to your sister. Okay? In regards to the it is in fact correct. I certainly think something. Even though I do know that there is like a whole super science type of that based on one particular, I'm still like to get it. So certainly doing what we've done here, I want to move on to our device next page. It's really to see how and page six series without the pieces last season. And DC this season might not be that I think it's good up to what I think is the timeline. So just to get the basics as well. The brief has been featured how long will it go? Now, I think if DC do it right, they could actually include maybe the first two stories in connection to others. In other words, it would have to include number one, in ventilation, right, that would have to include number one, you're learning about email and ventilation, how to meet up, and how to slowly start to come to this. And I think that would be a great jumping with time. Now, moving to the next, if that was up to like years of the movie, I think that would be it. There was the next part, which moved to super substance when I grow up. Now, that's the first part in super substance, which you have both substance in the brain, and John's in your head, on their first mission, and it's got to do with in the story. I think this would be really well. This would also be type six, now, if it isn't new, I mean, if it isn't new something in that it could be some this, if it is new, it could then be new, it could be into the next story that was in the six and it has to be this is what six days eternity old and it is to like learn to the monkey. I think that would work as well. You could see John and Daniel in twice. Hey, this is my friend. Like you're out of the I would take it my way to the I did see the safety thing. I'm like, I am discussing the six month animated movie, if you're wondering. That's the first thing that happened. Shifting, okay, test 1 2, test 1 2. Is that a bit better? Is that a bit better? Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, one of the things I was talking about was the Super Sons and the animated movie. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to grab that information once again. I do apologize for any technical problems before. If you do happen to come late to the stream, it's something that is a little bit out of my control. So it looks like I'm going to have to work on pulling back the information I pulled up before. Ah, gosh. Because it looked like it was actually working on this end. All right. I mean, it did actually look like it was working on this end. All right. Did you see this trailer that the Sora Kingdom Hearts is finally in Super Smash Bros.? No, but I have heard rumor about it. No doubt about that. I have heard rumor about it. But a good question. All right. I'll work on coming back to the first one that I was covering before. And we'll get this pretty much prepared once again. Not that one, the Superman homepage. There we go. Well, what I was hoping of doing today in this live stream is talk about, number one, the Super Sons animated movie, but also relay my thoughts, theories, and what could possibly be some spoilers. And as we see here on the Superman fan page or Superman homepage, we've got DC Fandom Battle of the Super Sons CG animated movie coming. And one thing I addressed is that, okay, this is something that DC Comics has done before, but not in movie format. And what I mean in movie format, they have actually done it in series format. You might even remember this series, Michael Brent. And the series that I'm about to bring up is Beware the Batman. To which in Beware the Batman, instead of Batman's villain being the Joker, one of the main villains in it was actually Anarchy. And that is one series that you could sort of like enjoy on your own, in your own time. It's not as good as sort of like the original Batman animated series in regards to how it's done. Yeah, if we ever get a Super Sons animated series, they should do it the same way they did Thundercats 2011. Yep. All right. I have watched that series through, and they even brought out like a trade paperback in relation to it, and it did feel as good as the series. Even though the art style is different compared to a lot of art that you see in the comics, I think for the Super Sons, it might not actually work. I think they'd probably be better off with doing the art style similar to what they did with, say, the Son of Batman animated movie, or even going the way of maybe even Young Justice. Now, I think if they did it that way, it would probably be more better accessibility wise, and it would work more towards the people who even follow the comic series. I get what they're trying to do, but I think for this, it might not work. Now, that's not to say that, oh, hello, we've got someone turning up. Hey, look who made it.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you, Xavier. I hope you're doing well.
Doing good.
So I'm sort of going back to the first thing that I addressed. Michael Brent brought up earlier that there were some mic issues on my end, and I do appreciate that, Michael Brent. Thank you very much. I didn't even know that there were any mic issues. I think maybe one time we should try to get you on the stream. As there are a lot of things that even you sound excited to talk about. Like even as a guest on stream. Did you see that there's going to be the new Catwoman animated movie? Yes, I did. I haven't fully watched the trailer in relation to it, but thank you for asking the question.
It looks fun.
It does look like it might be interesting. I think Batwoman appears in it too. I think it's called Catwoman Hunted. If I remember the title correctly, I'm happily to be corrected on that. But definitely, then there was talk about the Injustice animated movie.
I saw that, and yeah, I said in my review of it when it leaked. That was the point. It had potential.
Yeah.
But
all right, moving back into the Superman homepage, to which I had to address earlier and had no idea that I had any mic problems or whatever. But thank you, Michael Brent, once again for letting me know. All right, this is why it's important to have subscribers like this.
Yep.
All right, this is why it's important. Because sometimes you don't know that this stuff's happening.
Yeah, long did Amy what disappointing. It wasn't bad. It was just okay at best.
Yeah.
But they rushed it. They rushed this entire story.
Yeah. I noticed that you also covered your review already on the latest issue of Superman Son of Kal-El, or should we say Superboy Son of Kal-El? We'll get to that later.
It was so boring. I this is how my review with what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I did manage to get to read it before the live stream started, so I managed to read it last night before going to bed, and I still remember everything that I read, including what I saw of the previews of it, and yeah, I think some of my suspicions might actually be right about the character.
With Jay Nakamura.
Yeah. And I can't wait until we get to that and address that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we are addressing the Super Sons animated movie.
I'm so happy about it. I did it during my live stream at the Saturday. I screamed at the. And I was so happy. I smiled.
It is fantastic to actually see them make a proper appearance on screen. But if I were to pick a voice actor for Damian Wayne, it would be the same one that they had for the Son of Batman movie.
Yeah, Son of Batman.
Yep.
Not dark. No,
his name is. Yeah, his name is called Stuart Allen. I really think that he would be a good choice. But as for John Samuel Kent, I think the best young actor that might be good for that would actually be the one who met up with Jorge Jimenez.
I'll go for that.
Yeah, I reckon that would work well together. Those two would work well together. Yeah, there might be a slight age difference, but you know what? It also works with the story.
Yeah,
So,
because 10 years old.
but remember one of John's lines in regards to Damian Wayne.
Like,
Damian
I'm older
Wayne
on taller.
responds, "I'm older than you." John
Well, on
20,
taller
"I'm taller than you." I love
Yeah.
that. I love that one. Like that is proper bickering between
Yeah, that
kids.
was funny.
I'm older than you and smarter than you. I'm taller than you. I love that. And that's why the Super Sons works.
Yep.
And I actually hope we get to see that in the movie too.
I
In
should
that of
too.
the Super Sons. That would really not only make parents laugh, but it would make kids laugh too.
Yeah. My hope for that movie, even though it's CG, which I am worried about because wait,
Yeah, so am
when
I.
you see,
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, I know you're
yeah,
talking about the CG. Go ahead.
yeah, when they mean CG, but with CG, they expensive. That's too expensive. Actually, need to do it properly. And
Yes.
then they're the lazy route when they go pretty lazy. When they just fuck it, we're going to be the lazy to have to do it properly, which means cheap, which
Yeah.
scared me. I don't want cheap. Like CG is not at the really how can I say this? Oh right, not really actually that cheap. It's super expensive. So they need to go. They need to go all out and not screw it up.
Yes. And this is why I also feel that if they're going to do this, um, even though the animation might not be Flash, and no pun intended there,
Yeah.
right? Because CG can, as you brought up, yes, can be expensive, but it can also be a little bit difficult too in the
That's true.
delivery.
Yeah.
And there can be the rare times where it actually works. In fact, I'd like to bring up the name of an Australian animated series that used CG, which I also enjoyed.
I do know
Um,
one CG anime series that DC related, which hang on, I'll try to show you it.
yep. All right. The series in Australia was
Oh,
called. When you're ready,
yeah,
the
I'm ready.
series. Yeah, the series here was called. Yeah, of course. I remember Green Lantern. That
Yes,
was
so the
actually really
CG and
good.
it worked.
It did work. And if they
Mm-hmm.
do happen to manage to do it like that and it works, I'm sure you also remember the Beware the Batman.
Yeah, I remember that show. It
Yeah.
was so disappointing. Like I
Disappointing,
get
but
the
it did
idea of it, but
have.
it didn't work with Batman.
It
Like
was
for Superman, it made
disappointing,
sense.
but it did have a good story in it. I'll give it that. It did actually have a good story in it. That's sort of like its strong point in regards to that series. So you could be looking at something that might be a mix between this one and the Green Lantern in regards to
But
how it
the
started.
problem is, to prevent the pig, they made him not necessarily good. They made him kind of like environmentalist. Why? Like, what the Daredevil was psychopath in the comic? Why change it to point out you rip off?
It's
Also,
not its newsstand. Shalom
oh,
and
no,
good day,
that
Bernadette. Nice to see ya. Yes, we're talking
speaking
about.
of a boy, I would do a video on this and believe I will do a video on this because this is so fucking stupid. Why? Like, John gets not need a quarantine. Doesn't work. Like,
Well,
I have all the ideas.
like I
Why this?
said, yeah, like I said, this is also to address thoughts and theories, sort of like even theories about the particular character of Jane Nakamura. But at the first, um, we are talking about the
In 2020,
Battle
it
of the
seems
Super
the
Sons.
Pokemon
Now,
War
with
is
Battle
coming
of the
up.
Super Sons,
Yeah.
I think if they were to do this correctly, they might do this better, like making it a 2-hour story.
Yeah.
Like with it being CG and they're gonna put extra effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm
That's
glad
how
you
we can go
enjoyed it,
really good
Nerdette.
actually.
I'm glad you
I
enjoyed
give
it.
my review. I give it 2 out of 5. But you know what? I won't spoil my review of that.
Oh, and
So
thanks to YouTube for recommending one of Tevi and Snolker's YouTube videos to me.
yep.
Big thumbs up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they'd probably be best to do in this is, you remember the first story that we followed with the Super Sons, Tevier?
Yep.
It was called
Kid Amazo.
it was called
Charlie Super Sons.
Trial of the Super Sons. Now, if they kept that as sort of like the first part of the movie, like to which we get to know the characters, and the characters get to know each other, right? That could actually be a great beginning for the story. Now, seeing that they don't actually battle each other, now looking at the title of it too, being called Battle of the Super Sons, that would have to imply that they would have to go up against a said villain. Who was the first said villain that they went up against?
It was Kid Amazo. Hang on.
Kid
I'm
Amazo,
trying to
which
find it.
means now that we've got the first part established, the first arc of Super Sons was Super Sons When I Grow Up. Now, that was the first volume.
Yep.
And in that is where we met Kid Amazo. We ended up meeting someone that was also like his sister too in the story.
Yep.
We also had
found him.
the encounter of Lex Luthor. So
I
this
found
is
him.
going to be important to that story and in bringing it across. Now, if they manage to bring it across well, and I mean if they actually manage to bring it across well, they could leave a little bit of a hint at the end, like after they've defeated Kid Amazo, leave a little bit of a hint at the end of something that leads into the next story, like in the comics,
Pointing at the capes.
involved the multiverse.
Yep.
You remember that?
By the way, I found the image.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And this story was so fun.
It was.
And one of the things that also happened in the story is that Damian Wayne, through magic, was aged into an old man.
Oh man, I know everything do.
Yeah, and here you've got John Samuel Kent. you would swear that he's just waiting to laugh. And the time that Damien has to sort of like use the bathroom.
Yeah, it's funny.
Or the toilet here in Australia. All right. You would be able to live up into that.
It was funny.
And because it involved the Teen Titans, it was really good.
Yeah.
And in it, you really get to see, I think it was Starfire mentioned that they would like to have John with them as well. And Damien is sort of like playing along as if to say, no, you can't have him on the team.
That's funny.
But if you think about it, it's sort of like Damien's still a little bit unsure if that would be the right choice, right?
Yep.
Looking at it from Damien's angle, but also looking at the angle of like from their first mission together. Like, I don't think it's the right time to bring him on board, in other words. But
Yep.
as soon as things sort of like reach towards the end and the Super Sons of Tomorrow arc happens, like they could bring the lead up to those events in the story. Yes, it might not work well in CG, but it would work well in, say, the animation of Young Justice, Son of Batman, for example.
Jessica Parker's War. Well, War. No. War. No.
Not quite. It was all right, but I did like what they did with the storyline there because it did actually feel like it covered something in relation to the New 52 story.
Yeah.
Peter J. Tomasi did in regards to sort of like one way of how not John Samuel Kent, how Robin plays a part in saving the DC universe, but in this case, it's against Apocalypse. And the way that story was done, yeah, it was hard and sad to see what happened to
Pocket
in
War
that
is good. I like a
storyline.
Pocket War. Without the with the first Jessica anime movie, War.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Apocalypse one with Constantine.
Good.
Alrighty. All right. Just waiting on Tevier. I think he's grabbing something. All right.
I'm back.
All right. Welcome back then. All right. This is a link to the article that I'm reading from. Just posted in the text.
Yep.
And as we see here, we also get from the Superman homepage where they share a little bit of like the idea of the Super Son's background.
From 1970,
The 1960s.
1973. 1973.
Yep.
Well,
And
1960 to 1970. My bad. I got to mix
yeah,
up.
yeah. So within that time period, and I think it's a good thing to actually have like main characters such as Batman or Superman to play the role as a parent or to be a parent. And one thing the Super Sons series did, it also played and showed how different the parenting was between Batman and Superman. Right?
Yep.
Not only does it sort of like play on each of the characters, but it also plays on their parenting styles. And I think that is good and important too. Now, not only that, you are going to have both parents and children relate to that. And that is going to be very important in this first movie. right? If they cannot see this, like,
Yeah.
um,
Also,
and
for the love
end
of
up
God,
missing,
Ted, he didn't remind you the story. He wrote this credit. Let him write the movie. He did with Devil Superman. It was amazing. He did it again with Super Sons. Let him write the
agreed.
story.
Agreed. Peter J. Tomasi should be put on the project. Even if the story turns out great and the animation not so great, the story is still going to be remembered as great.
Yeah.
That's the
Story
key
comes
thing.
first. Okay, the animation that comes second because animation takes time, takes
Yes.
days, takes years. So story needs to come first this time around. CG is 50-50. So you have one shot at this. Don't fuck it up. Don't be cheap. Because this property is a lot, actually more important than any other property. Because a lot of people love this team, myself included. We want this team to
Yes.
succeed, not fail. If Banner got destroyed up and this bullshit, then what are they destroying the anime? They did a one-time shot. They screwed us up. Oh, you're gonna say he's Megaland next year. Because this is my most different movie ever. The Batman, yeah, that's secondary. The Batman, I am looking for in a movie, but they my most top on my list. Like
And a fair
for
point.
good reason.
Yep, a fair point
Well,
for
no, the
another.
Batman that's on my list, but Super Sun movie is on the top of the list. That's number one.
Yes. Fair point from another Super Sons reader. And yeah, I totally agree. If they really want this to work, please do the best you can to make it accurate and even work with Peter J. Tomasi on this.
Yeah,
I
and
think
Holy
the
Minute.
only way that this story is going to work as well as it should be.
Yeah, you
Get him
Holy
on
Minute
board.
and you need Tomasi
Yep.
and Pat
Because we know,
Remington.
yeah, we also know that part of Peter J. Tomasi's story was also used in, what was it, the Death of Superman movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
he wrote that movie.
And even that too was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Impactful, but
Rain
still
Superman
pretty
was not
good.
Tomasi, you know, Rain Superman.
Yeah.
But part one was all him and it worked. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like they pulled it off.
All right. So now that we're finished with that one, this particular article on the Superman homepage,
Yep.
I will now jump to the CBR one that I've got prepared here.
With I
Yep,
showed
that's
away
actually
with
one that you shared on your channel. That is correct.
Yep.
And of course, we've got fan favorite Super Sun series is now DC's first CG film.
Yep.
Of course, they share on information. Now, I'll grab that and I'll share the link here in the channel. All right, that's the link to the CBR, so you can read it alongside with me. DC Fandom 2021 saw the announcement of Battle of the Super Sons, which marks the first CG animated film based on the DC property. The brief announcement featured few details, but fans can look forward to the CG film arriving sometime in 2022. The film is presumably based on the titular Super Sons, Superboy and Robin, possibly the iteration featuring Clark Kent and Lois Lane and Bruce Wayne and Talia, respectively. So, in other words, John Samuel Kent and Damian Wayne.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course, they share on what we practically shared on before, but they include some additional details in the story. And it finishes off, the duo received a comic book series of their own, which ran for about 16 issues and an annual special. It followed with the Adventures of the Super Sons miniseries written by Peter J. Tomasi and illustrated by Carlo Barbieri, and comprised, we know one area that they're missing here, but we
The
can
main challenge Super Saiyan, main advantage Super Saiyans.
Yeah, they did miss the Adventures of the Super Sons, and also the one.
They're followed by Adventure Super the miniseries, which
Yeah,
comprised 12 issues.
yeah. Oh,
Oh wait, it was challenge, not Adventure. Adventure
oh,
they got, but they made challenge.
oh! I forgot to share it in the text. Share it on the
Yeah, you
screen.
forgot.
My error, my fault. But I'll go back
Yeah.
over it again. I'll just show
Okay.
you what it shows here. I've already read from the text. I gotta remember to share share the screen.
Yeah.
um,
Oh yeah. Speaking of anime movies, there are two other anime movies that they did announce during the stream. They're now basically Constantine, How the Mystery, which I think that's gonna be a short. I'm not looking forward to that one. That will get out Matt Ryan who played with Constantine because
yeah.
I love Matt Ryan Constantine and I'm glad you voiced Constantine again. That's cool. I think that's gonna be a DC short. Next week we got Teen Go, the Supergirl Man Multiverse. I don't give a damn a Teen Go. I don't give a damn the Supergirls. Like the shows. Good for you. Me personally, I just can't do it. The only episode I watched was the Beach Road Chicken episode. So here's the thing. I watched that because John Cena was in the episode. Kind of. Sort of. It was just a cameo, but actually it was adorable. In fact, let's see if I can find that.
All right. Well,
Found it. Found it.
okay.
Screen share.
I'll wait for you to share it.
Alright, screen share right now.
Okay, and up we go.
Ta-da.
Oh yes.
Buzz and Burlington.
that
That's adorable.
that almost reminds me of Nugent's art.
Yeah.
Um, is it Dustin Nugent, if I remember correctly?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
I loved what he did with that Little Gotham series. I think
Yeah.
it's got Adventures in Little Gotham. It's literally its own world. It's the only way to describe it. It's of its own world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really reminds me of that type of art.
It
Even
does.
though his is a little bit cleaner,
You know,
it looks really cool.
yeah.
So it reminds
This
me.
was the only cameo that John comes in, even though it was actually a gag, but it's actually adorable. Like, I want to see it. This looks cute.
It
Like,
does look interesting, and that's meant to be a animated film.
no. As I said, that would probably teenage girl just one time I gag when B would take a care of a
Okay,
chicken. But it actually is adorable.
all right. Well, I might
But
now.
I would really love to see that because, damn it, and I can't give us some anime secret BS reason. That's the quote that I got. I would love to see that, even though I know everything that go craze. It would be something over nothing, but that is me.
Yep. Well, I might begin to move on to the next thing. All right. Now that that's finished.
They did actually another DC anime movie we all getting Green Lantern be Wear My Power, which I don't know what that one's about, but I'm intrigued by that one mostly because we haven't Green Lantern anime movie in for a very long time. But fuck it, I'm hoping that one's good because I really want to do an anime movie anime series. So I want that Tampa meeting. Yep.
All right. Well, for this next one, I've just shared the link in the text.
Okay.
And this is something that you've seen already, I believe.
Yep. Good.
Well,
Nice.
I am wanting to grab this, but not in relation to Tom Taylor. Even though Tom Taylor is being sort of like addressed in this, I would like to use this in regards to covering the character of Jay Nakamura. And of course, this is actually sharing like some thoughts in regards to
Wait for the deconstruct the narrative.
yeah. And even though
The story and monotone, I can only know how to play one tune. As I look back, made Injustice and Deceased story wasn't that Elseworld story. It was still for the same message. I altered differently to make super monsters, so I was stuck on certain characters. Here's the thing: Deceased may sound like a zombie story. A Elseworld story, but genius. It actually worked. But it was badass. But damn it, we got to see the Super Saiyan to get to save the day. And Hope It Will End. I love that story. That story was badass. That he wrote the Super Saiyan's great in that story. I mean, he had John Cannon, David Wayne, and Cassie Ultimate, the kid zombie ad. It was awesome. I love it. I had to own that book.
Yep, I know, and I'm expecting to get some of these titles in trade as well. But the reason that I sort of bring up in this article that he feels like a bit of a one-trick pony is that you see in the characters that he destroys in his stories.
Yeah.
And of course, as you were sharing some of the part that was there, his storytelling is very monotone. I will cover some of that Bleeding Fool also covered on this article as well. So they had permission to post my article on their page, but they also cleaned it up a bit as well too. And I've also shared that link in the description. But that's fine. That's fine. They did have permission to sort of like use my username and also use the article. They cleaned it up a bit. He's still storytelling, but I'm just starting off with the original article first before I go over to the Bleeding Fool one. So showing people where it's actually come from before it's had its editing and changes. Tom's storytelling in some instances can come off interesting and insightful at first, but once you glance at it in return, starting off with Injustice, then Deceased Run, then finally move on to some of these DC canon comic stories, you only get some small good stories, even if they are a single issue, especially if they are in the DC Comics canon. Right? And even though I could have brought up a physical example there, I can actually bring up the physical example itself where he was working on the Detective Comics run, to which he did one issue, and it's the same Detective Comics run that Peter J. Tomasi was on, and he actually did like a one-off good story that I really liked. And it had to do with like the Martha Wayne orphanage. Something was happening there. And Batman was a little bit busy, so he decided to bring Damian Wayne Robin in to help him out. So whilst you saw both characters doing their different investigations, Damian Wayne managed to come through, take care of the situation, and it was like really good as to how the story was done, because you had Damian Wayne in some way mirror everything that his father was doing. That was fantastic, and this is what I mean by a one-off story, which can be fantastic if done individually in canon. But once it comes to multiple, now good example of multiple is
Deceased.
I'm talking multiple in canon.
I can't.
All right. And what's something that some people aren't presently enjoying with Tom Taylor? All right, some people are, and some people are enjoying it. Some people aren't. There's actually two titles.
Nightwing and Son of Kal-El.
Nightwing and Superman, Son of Kal-El. They're the key titles that they're sort of having issues with.
Nightwing, I think it's good. I think it's fine the way it is. Son of Kal-El is my main problem because, as I said, I'll be doing a separate video on the climate change because I really need to talk about it in my channel. But
yeah,
it's a bad idea. Like I said, I'll be stupid on that. After issue 4, I need to talk about that cover more because what the fuck did I read?
I
When the
totally
fucking
agree.
says,
It is a bad idea. Like, there's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Pick a planet.
yeah,
Any bloody planet. There's your planet B.
yeah, like yep, Earth 2.
Talk about
Oh
someone
wait, that
who
got blown up.
talk about someone who thinks they know what they're talking about and then shows they don't know in a story. Yeah, big bloody problem. So in it, I also provide like the characters that were destroyed, like Cyborg, Superman, even Batman, as well as members of some of the families that were seen in Injustice, which carried over into Deceased. But this time, sort of like the thing that caused their destruction was a virus,
Cyber virus.
a cyber
Technically
virus.
anti equation plus a virus.
Yep, and of
And
course,
it would, as I said, it's a good zombie story.
yeah,
And it's about zombies. It's a good story, as I said.
yeah,
And that's why I love the story. It showed her what they know what they're doing and they survive. And
yeah.
as I said, it wasn't given the best Wild West story ever and the best Super Son story ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this book brought me Super Sons back to even a dead, in my opinion, literally, because the main book couldn't give me that, so fuck it. I'll take an outdoor story, Super Sons, and Giant Super Sons over
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Whilst Deceased was happening, of course, Bendis was presently
Destroying
in charge, destroying John Samuel Kent. But we also need to remember that Adam Glass, as well with Robbie Thompson, was also
So, Glass
destroying
fucked everything up.
Damian Wayne, plus whatever
Yeah.
Tom King added on top of that mess.
True. Technically, look, Tom King, I won't blame him fully on this stuff. Alfred was not supposed to be dead. That's not his fault. That's more editorial, that bullshit. The plan Alfred was supposed to have to be a host and a called a circle pirate.
Yeah.
But the tournament fucked it up.
I will say one thing. Whilst that was going, Tinian's run was actually way better at the time.
Agreed.
Whilst he was on Detective Comics, it was actually way better than what Tom King was actually doing.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
I do agree. You do have a fair argument there, because there was actually a few things in the Tom King run that I did personally enjoy. And that was sort of like when Damian Wayne and Dick Grayson ended up traveling over to the Middle East, meeting up with his mother and all that other nonsense with Batman and whatever else. There was a great conversation in that, which I really enjoyed. Okay, there was a slight error there in the story, but when they brought out the trade, they made sure to fix up that error.
Yeah.
And I'll give credit where it's due.
Yep.
And
also, the Rose Wayne and Superman story also was great. When Batman get married, I love that story with Rose Wayne and Catwoman.
Yeah,
that made me smile.
That was really interesting. And I've even seen some people say, "There's no way Talia, Catwoman should have been able to beat Talia." Well, that is somewhat true, but we also need to understand that Catwoman has even met up with Talia in the past and also received some form of training from her. Yep. You actually learn about that in Gotham City Sirens. And I don't know how many people have actually read through Gotham City Sirens. And it is an interesting storyline. Yes, it does revolve around Catwoman, but it also revolves around Harley and a couple of other characters. And Poison Ivy. And one of the people that they end up meeting, especially Catwoman, is actually Talia al Ghul. And some people don't know that. And I'll give that some people don't know that. So that then lets us, the reader, know that, okay, she has somewhat received some form of training from Talia, but you don't know the full length of her training. So when she does encounter Talia again, of course we see her beat Talia, but knowing Talia, she can also choose to lose a fight if she wants to lose a fight,
Yep.
if it will work to her own agenda. Right? And
Yeah.
that's the thing that some people don't understand about Talia's character.
She's almost complex.
And this is why I dislike Bendis's iteration of Talia al Ghul.
Don't mind me.
Right? Because it's very shallow.
And
Oh, this
stupid.
is Talia al Ghul and she runs this organization, da 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 da
Then she get
da.
kicked out. We get Mark Shaw take over and said, fuck it. Well, I like both companies. I like both
Right,
Marvel and DC.
right. Like, and he carried and he has completely carried this over into
Checkmate.
Checkmate as well, sort of like the same wording again. Oh, she is responsible for like a lot of underground selling of weapons, whatever else. Not completely. There are actually other
You
characters
got a race.
in the comics apart from Talia.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make her out look like she's a big. Oh, what's the word? What was the name of that movie? Man of War, I think it was, or something like that.
Something like that, I think. Yeah.
And it starred Nicolas Cage in it. Right?
Yeah, that's the name.
And in the Nicolas Cage movie, you have him. Oh, Lord of War. That's it, Lord of War. And he's trying to make this.
I've been gay. I don't like DC that they Super Bowl gay. From Mother Went. Yeah, you know all about that. But here's the thing. I've been suggesting that's the Bendis idea, and it's such a stupid way of idea. But young and very bisexual. That didn't make sense because they rushed that. That's not okay at all. I like if they wanted to make superhero bisexual gay, make Clark Kent gay. Problem solved. They attempt to kind of get your fan fiction, and then you got them be a couple. It's much better than the We Go John, which would kind of make more sense. Fair enough.
Very, very fair points there, Michael Brent. We'll get a little bit further into this article. Of course, I
X-Men Red.
end up sharing a video here connected to Tom Taylor, and I basically indicate this guy's full of bigotry. He's not who he says he is. It's all a facade. And this is coming from one Australian speaking about another. This is all a facade. And this goes also with my topic in regards to Jay Nakamura.
Repetitive format.
And this is where this last bit sort of comes into it. And I point out in my original article before it got the editing and went over to the Bleeding Fool, and I will go through the Bleeding Fool one. One thing that you see in Tom Taylor's storytelling, including his politics, he also puts into his storytelling is that it also finds a way to recycle the previous format he has also used. So
I bring up this story. Sure, there was a good story in there, but also the story of destruction of Hero Jess. Man would change from one era to another, it still kept the same format and justice. I accept that they are an Elseworld story, so I do what they should remain. I guarantee you don't earn more even though you work with Grant Morrison. Wait, what do you want Grant Morrison? I see in this video, you're 41.
Yep. So
I never ain't 40.
I indicate that in that particular video, he states that he's sort of like worked with Grant Morrison, and he also speaks about the Authority run, to which we learn that where superheroes are treated as both as dictators as well as gods.
But the 40 were assholes. They were better than acting like anti-hero. But then the one else one, they were got to get people doing the right thing, but doing a lot more better than their way. And with one else, it was a good story. But then Mark Miller took over the one and then went to shit. And the entire content went to hell. And they were all assholes.
Yep.
Which, thank Mark Miller. Thank you for telling a good book and just complete at the shit show. Yeah.
All right. I bring up the next thing. As we know what has happened to John Kent in future state, that he will become a tyrant, something which Tom Taylor is presently working on in his run. I guarantee it's going to happen.
I don't want that to happen. I don't want that future to happen. Fuck that future. That future's crap.
But I want to
I
say,
don't want to jump in chocolate and turn a monster.
all right, but I want to say one thing. In order for John to stop becoming a dictator, right? In order for him to gain his identity back, right? I say let him go ahead with it. Why? Because for us Super Sons readers, this lays down more evidence as to why John Samuel Kent should be de-aged.
Or bring back the real John Kent, and this went in Pop on Earth 3.
Yep.
Actually, not bad, yeah, because it would make sense if it were Earth 3 entirely. Just be Ultraman's son.
Yeah. Like,
But
even if you find out
that also raises more questions, because at the end of Forever Evil, Superwoman was pregnant with Lex Luthor from Earth 3.
Yeah.
But then that baby got turned to the dark side. It was a whole thing, and my brain got on my skull if dark side warlords.
All right. Moving on to the next bit. Being honest, I have not seen one trans character from Tom Taylor, especially if he wants to try to appease the LGBTIQ community. Now, we've got like a picture of Jay Nakamura here, but I'm trying to do something specifically. All right, look at the way he's handing back the wig to John. But there are other things.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. The hand gesture is very similar to this Bendix character. In fact, even the eyes are too, but I don't think anyone's noticed that. So this is sort of like leading into the thoughts and theories about Jay Nakamura's side of things in regards to this live stream. And this is like one of the things with this live stream, because yes, we do get to explore like other people's thoughts and theories about Jay Nakamura, the character. Yes, even though he is written by Tom Taylor, I don't believe Jay is who he says he is.
Yeah, in issue 4, we reviewed the power of somebody, and you can basically survive when you are intangible.
Yes.
That's not how intangibility works. You can't get vulnerable with that power. Intangibility would make you have to go through walls. Not make it like a touch. That makes no sense.
Yep. All right. Moving on to the next bit. Now, this is where once we move over to the Bleeding Fool article, they actually end up cleaning up this title that I've got here. And you know what? I appreciate that. And I think that was actually better done than the way I did it. But the main point I'm trying to bring across is that Tom Taylor will use Jay Nakamura to push John Samuel Kent over the edge. And that's something that they got from the when they posted the article up with my permission.
Jay Nakamura at the wit, it was one woman who read Superman Go Full Time in Justice series. Content run. It is going to be Jay Nakamura to push John Samuel Kent, Superboy, into becoming a tyrant. Continue.
I have my suspicions. I have had my suspicions that Jay Nakamura, when he first came into this series, as well as little clues Tom Taylor has been leaving in the Superman Son of Kal-El run, when it should be Superboy.
Yeah, I agree that it should be Superboy.
Yeah, I'd prefer it to be Superboy, Son of Kal-El. I still hate it as Superman.
Same. But yeah, you're an instrument, yeah. Well, we never got the development quick. We never got the development act in the first place. It's just, we just a man kid first. Then we're gonna grow up and overtime to get to this point. Not rush it.
Yeah, I agree. It has been rushed. Like, if they wanted to give us this bisexual reveal, I'd save it until issue 20.
Yeah, like
That's
or
what I would do. I would
let him grow up
save
as a
that
kid first.
story plot
Then do
to
that.
issue
Do the
20.
concept reveal. Fine, but do it years later.
Yeah,
When I'm 50.
yeah. Like, that would work way better. And not only that, it would also develop better organic storytelling. This is
Which
not
we
organic
desperately need.
storytelling if you're practically telling us what's in the bloody present box, which is coming out in November. Bang! John's bisexual. We got a big problem here.
We didn't get the
You have
development at all.
provided
We're watching it.
no means to show that John has had any dates with any females, like in the
Except
running
Saturn
lady,
goes and you in.
right? Even though, yeah, you could try to attempt to use Saturn Girl, but
Yeah,
I
and
don't really count the Saturn Girl one even as a date.
same.
I think that was more so John beginning to fawn over a character.
Yeah, by rushing it. That woman felt rushed. No one wanted that woman. I want Cappy.
But
Cappy makes
but I
sense.
also believe too that Saturn Girl may have also played some manipulative games, right? Under Bendis, right? And
True.
she would in some essence have that power because of her powers.
Which is
Right?
really
So
stupid when you think about it, when you go like that so
yeah,
fast.
in that it would also come off as forced. And that is
Yeah.
why people who were also disgruntled about said attempt forced relationship. And that would include ourselves, the Super Sons readers. I hope you're still there, Michael Brent. Yes, I will highlight Kevin Feige announced Superman in the Eternals, and I don't know if he's referencing Hyperion or the Century.
It's Hyperion.
Oh,
Hyperion made
Gladiator,
the
they can point out.
Century. Oh,
Uh,
Gladiator. Yeah, Gladiator is from Shi'a Empire.
yeah. So, as we look here, Jay Nakamura isn't who he says he is. I have provided two pictures. One being Jay Nakamura, the other being William
William
Bendix.
Bendix. Yeah.
The hand gesture looks the same as Jay's, as well as their eyes. And to add to the upcoming spoilers, to us already DC comic solicitations, we already know that he's a hacktivist as well as invulnerable to be damaged. Invulnerability is also connected to Henry Bendix, which means
He could be a
he could
clone.
also be a clone of Henry Bendix.
Which, when you actually learn he's from, I think, more, he's a post-human.
Yeah.
Which issue
Right.
4 came out actually this week and explained that
Yeah.
he was a post-human.
Yep. And I actually get to share a little
He
bit of that preview. Yeah, I actually get to share a little bit of that preview because I did update this article towards the end.
Okay.
And other things that we have established in this run so far is that there are people who have been weaponized and used as tools against the people by Bendix, which would make Jay Nakamura from Gamora a weapon too.
Mm-hmm.
Jay isn't running away from Bendix, he is working with him. Tom Taylor self-inserting himself as the school shooter in issue 2. And in the first issue, we had John help with a weaponized human who caused a forest fire. Then we, of course, had Fault Line, which was used in the latest. Weaponized even against John Kent.
Yeah.
And Tom Taylor attempts to murder the grandparents, which mimics
They're
Tom
not dead.
Taylor's, which mimics Tom Taylor's Injustice story, where Superman was under the influence of a villain
And they're killing his wife and one
Lois
son.
Lane. Jay is also around the Kent's house, or when the Kent's house is destroyed. Not a coincidence.
True.
To those of the LGBTIQ community, Jay isn't going to be the hero of this story. He'll be the one who makes the hero of the story of the villain or the tyrant.
Oh yeah, True Justice and Megan Wade. I got change the True Justice back tomorrow.
Yep.
Which I was doing it.
Yep. With this next video, I actually want to give a big thanks and shout out to EVS, Ethan Van Sciver. Even though he represents his form of Comicsgate, I don't stand for Comicsgate.
I don't follow Comicsgate at all. I did not follow the movie when it started. Future part of the movie, even now. That thing was just a complete mess, a clusterfuck, and a mess. Yeah. And I had good ideas, but I got twisted and corrupted.
Yeah. But one thing I will go to address, even though yes, he does claim he represents that, I choose to sit on the outside. I've also done a 2 articles sort of like addressing that. I do choose to stay on the outside of this.
Same.
I don't identify as anti-Comicsgate or Comicsgate. And you'll also see that in this WordPress article. Oh, not this article, but the one previous, or one of the ones previous. I'm not going to show a video, but you can see that there is a link to the video in this.
Yeah.
A clue from Ethan Van Sciver's video that went up recently helped me put more puzzle pieces together, with him suggesting that Jay Nakamura might in fact have kryptonite hair, which will turn John Samuel Kent gay. So even John to becoming gay or bisexual isn't going to be organic. Like as we brought up before, right? If they were going to do this, they would have been better doing this around issue 20, not issue 5.
Yeah,
it's too early. Like it's too early to show it. And yes, I would say it is in fact forced. So, if anything, this John Samuel Kent isn't actually gay, but under the influence of something that can make him gay against his will. But it will be forced to mirror that of conversion therapy for gays, which was also done by Brian Michael Bendis, who converted Iceman to be gay. And we know a number of people who aren't impressed with that.
No, that went badly. It blew up at the invitation. People were pissed.
Yep.
A lot of people were pissed about that.
Now,
I didn't really care for that at the time, but I knew that was a bad idea.
Yep. Yeah. Now, moving on
to kind of young D-Grade, but then adult Iceman. What? It was confusing. Turns out it was a mess.
Yeah, it is. Now, people would rather organic storytelling of a person coming out as LGBTIQ rather than one that is forced, like trying to give a child a gun when they're too young to understand how to use it. I have read manga titles that go out of their way to organically show that someone is of this community, And this is why so many people flock to manga over present day comics. Now, here are
Except
some.
manga isn't perfect either. Manga makes a mistake. It's not perfect. Like,
Yeah,
for Attack on Titan, which I heard the ending of that story is so bad and
yeah,
disappointing.
Sometimes the ending of a story can flop. Sometimes it could be the middle of a story.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be the beginning. It depends how the story goes throughout the whole story. Like, what's their
Mm-hmm.
beginning? Like, what's their beginning move? What's their middle move? And what's their end game move?
What's the ending?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes it gets a little bit lost in translation in the middle of either one of these events, whether it's around the
Yeah.
beginning, middle, or even the end. Or maybe it could happen at two places. Um,
Yep.
of course, I get to share some things from the latest comics.
That
And
issue 3.
as we look here, and we and this is issue 3 or from issue 3, and then all of a sudden, right, he's walking away, and look at this. Why is he saying this? This is a farm, right? I assume there's a barn I can hide in.
Mm.
That comes off like a hint that he knows something is coming.
Yeah, he up to something.
Yeah, I don't trust the character.
And issue 4, we saw him smile
Yeah,
when the thing exploded.
yeah.
Why is he smiling?
Yes, I had that very same question, and I thought you'd probably bring that up too.
Yeah. You gave my review and said,
That really caught
why
me
is he
off guard.
smiling?
But I also noticed something as well. If you read, what is it, issue 3, I think it's after Superman goes.
Yes.
Lois Lane is also at the Kent home.
But then issue 4, she went
She's
takes
not
Lois Lane
there, so
away from the
there's
tenant farm.
right. How the fuck
Yeah.
did that slip through editing?
Yeah, that makes no
There's a
sense because
problem there, right? We moved the issue
yeah,
4,
because
she's
remember
not
she was
there.
didn't she make Lois Lane away from the tenant farm at the
Yep,
end of issue 3? I think
yep. And as we move into some of the previews around
issue 4,
issue 4,
which came out
and as
today.
we look, right, things are looking supposedly fine. And we see a grin. This grin feels fake.
Yeah.
I mean it. This grin feels fake. Like
Mm-hmm.
with him talking and that, and then all of a sudden, as destruction comes, as you
He's
pointed
smiling.
out, he's smiling. There is something wrong with this character. Don't you
Yeah,
think that
something's
he would
up.
have the look of concern in regards to what is happening with the grandparents of John Samuel Kent?
And then the happening explodes.
Yeah. Something sus. And this
Yeah.
just puts it up higher. There's a big issue here.
And as I said when I read the issue today, I did my review of it, something fell off.
Yeah.
Because one, why is he smiling? Two, when the happening exploded, being that he had to still alive. Because obviously he's wrong, so he survived that, even though it makes no fucking sense, but whatever. And he talked to John, but in content someone he talked to Wink.
Yep. And the
And he
way,
got the Wing and Area.
yeah,
Okay, if
and
you don't know Wing and Area's backstory, Wing and Area was the character in the Suicide Squad book, the whole thing, and he contacted them to get information about the post-human stuff.
yeah,
John goes to Lois Lane with his mother, talk to her about the situation, but John said, I end up, and tried to go with the Bendix.
yep,
That plan, get the actions out. battery. It put him in John's face. He caught the Bendix. The guy denies all of it because the guy's an asshole. And he said, do it. John had to scream. And it's the fire guy from the first issue.
Yep.
How's the fire get captured? Who knows? There's no answer. And then John get overcharged.
Yep. And we already know that in the next issue, someone's going to end up coming or being there to save him. Now, another thing that, this brings the next question up. How does he get there so fast?
That's my question. Maybe with Wink?
Yeah.
Because that would make sense that Wink is a teleporter.
Right? And to exactly know where he is, right? This is why suspicions lay up on the character.
Yeah.
Even from the very beginning.
It feels more of a mole, like a spy.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is why I feel he's very similar to William Bendix, to which even William Bendix, if you look at the information around his character and his universe, Wildstorm, which is also connected to the Authority and whatever else.
We are connected another character at one of my comment section, Yellow Spider-Man. He actually told me about this guy. Apparently he's connected to Jenny Quantum.
Mm-hmm.
That's her name. Yeah, he told me about her. Apparently, she is the arch enemy to Henry Bendix. That is her enemy, not Jay Nakamura.
Yeah. Well,
so
if we look at things we know about William Bendix is that yes, he works as an ally with his own father. Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as we move through this, of course, there's a relaying of some of the stuff that I bring up earlier, and I also
X-Men Land. I think I like X-Men Land. I think X-Men Land was a good series. Maybe that's just me.
There's of course the repetitive format as brought up before.
Wait, go up.
All right. They do slightly do this differently than how I do it on mine. And this is where they've probably got a little bit more better editing experience than what I do. So in that, thank you very much to Bleeding Fool for when they actually had permission to bring this over to their website.
Well, can you go up a sec to the video? I want to see the video for a sec.
Yeah. It's basically the same video, which...
comic culture. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, it's basically the same one that I brought up before. That's in mine. So you made sure to include that, plus a couple of the things that I included. Being honest, of course, addressing that. Then there's the pictures. And you see
when he knocked out cargo, it's a waste of time. Yes, I'm Debbie Dad, how many banners you could say she it's a waste of time. So when I don't know what that means. When he knocked out cargo, he just gave a lot of money and told her to what? Oh yeah, that's with the 40, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is connecting to the Stormwatch. Now, as you notice with their hand gestures, they look the same. Even their eyes look the same. About the only thing that's slightly different, meant to make you think that it's someone else, is the way their mouths are. Right? That's the only slight difference. That plus the glasses. I feel that the glasses here are basically him still in his identity.
Yeah.
His alias. And I must admit, they did do a better job in cleaning that up for me. Then we got Jay Nakamura will push John Kent over the edge.
And they have to provide both the two pictures from issue 2, I think.
Yep. And we've got this. And we've got these events occurring. Of course, Smile in the first issue. Da, 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 da. Right. When we see things turn up here in relation to John Samuel Kent catching up with his mother and that, and Superman, right? When Superman leaves, right? Yes, you do get to see Superman spend a little bit of time with Lois, but after that, you sort of got the impression is that she came back to be with John and the grandparents together. So it would be like a big family thing, meeting this person. And then it brings up about what EVS talks about, and that finishes that off.
Yeah.
So it really lays down that there is something not right with Jay Nakamura's character. And yes, he does feel like he might actually be a mole or something. He is not who he says he is. And right, this is one good thing about comics and having theories and thoughts about certain characters in the comics that might be from a person's creation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think this live stream would also be good to sort of like include maybe additional people who'd like to get on and even share their thoughts on, do you believe who Jay Nakamura says he is, or do you think he's someone else? Personally,
Speaking of, actually, where I do want to show you actually what the issue I did see.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because I said when the thing really explodes,
Yep.
I mean, literally, he's smiling, and well, it explodes, and well, long story short, Jessica showed up at that time point. He walked away casually, which I'm sorry, the hydrant exploded. How are you not phased? That makes no sense.
Like, one thing Jay could have done as well, like, if Jay cared or so much for truth,
Yeah, look
right,
at that smug face.
and his channel is called The Truth, wouldn't The Truth also include his character even going out of his way to help save at least one of the Kent grandparents?
Yeah, that's odd.
Obviously not. There's something wrong there.
Yeah, he ordered come in John to go at the Bendix, which what? John actually went at the Bendix because well,
He went after Bendix. Yeah, he went after Bendix after he caught up in conversation with Jay Nakamura.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at here? Right?
Yeah.
It's just, this is too coincidental. It's just way too.
This is all connecting to Jay Nakamura. He's using John at the way to push his own agenda.
Yes. Right? First things first was, like, when you moved the issue 2, it was, of course, the shooter, but also the refugees. Right? The shooter, I believe, was planted.
Yeah.
And they both knew about it, both Henry Bendix as well as Jay Nakamura. They needed that so that they could make sure that they got the right person. That person being John Samuel Kent, to which they could set up. Set up works. Okay, we've got him. Next thing.
You use the proxy weapon, right? Fault line.
Yep, fault
To the
line.
side.
Right.
Came
First
home.
weapon. Right. The first one had to do with something in the field, having to do with the person that was connected to the fire. Like first issue, like first person who was weaponized. Then we had the shooter along with the refugees. Right. So
Yeah.
first thing,
But
second
then with the
thing.
fire guy who John saved, which they had with the military being asshole, not
Yep.
wanting to be as villains. Fuck the military that one. I'm with
Yep.
John that one. Screw the
Then we
jerks.
yep. Then we move into the third issue, which addresses fault line being used as a weapon.
Yeah. And then
Then the
issue 4, fault line blew up
fourth
the
issue,
house.
we see the return of fault line after she had been used in issue 3. Now that could have probably been held off once again for later, but don't forget, when you're hasty, you also make mistakes.
Yeah. Because the judge degree came in and they had to do a Mountain House, which I'm sorry, they might not have the time. Why did they get blown up?
Right?
Like,
Hastiness can also lead to mistakes. As we
so,
saw in, say, issue 3 into issue 4, yeah, there was a mistake because after Superman left, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing Lois Lane along with grandparents there of John Samuel Kent
yeah.
because it felt like it was. But by the time we move into issue 4, somehow she's miraculously ended up in Metropolis.
That's odd.
This should have been explained better, but on top of that, where the hell were your editors?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Because the way that came across, it was bad. Like, I remember from that issue very clearly. In fact, my review for that issue will be going up tomorrow. For issue 3, not issue 4, but issue 3. And do stay.
Actually, issue 3 had Superman take Rosary away from the Kent farm. Which, hang on, I'll show you it because you got trying to. All right, I'm just gonna show you right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Issue 3 had Superman take Rosary away from the Kent farm. Ta-da. That's when Bang doesn't move and push fault line and
Yep.
blow up the house. Yeah. So
Yeah.
looks at the looks at we were wrong about that. Oops.
Yep.
So Origin would not in the Kent Bond. It's more like the
I think it would have been better
yeah.
if Lois sort of like stayed there, because at least then she would have been able to witness it first person.
Yeah.
Like, not only that, if she also had been there, it would be instant scoop.
Mm-hmm.
Like instant scoop. My family has been attacked.
Yeah. And Johnson would go like, fuck
and
it. Like
something like that, Daily Planet would put through bang, front page.
Yeah.
Reporters family attacked.
Mm-hmm. And knowing John, he would be pissed like, fuck it. No, they attacked my grandma, they attacked my mom. Fuck it. I'm going out to banana and kick his ass.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we'd be all for it. That'd be a bad story, but no, we didn't get that. John fell for a trap.
Yeah.
Now you're overcharged. And to dependence and his manipulations.
Yep.
Which is bad.
and it's really quite interesting because as we move into the next issue and what we see of the next issue, this smile on his character, don't you think he would be right? Don't you think with a person that was sane would not be smiling as an attack is happening?
Yeah, especially when happily explodes.
Like when you see the event occur, even in the preview of it, you see John's facial reaction with what's happening with him and his grandparents. But as you looked at his reaction, it's like, my plan's coming into place. And he's got the smile.
Yeah, like
That
he up for
that
something.
that just really, right? This furthers the theory side of things that Jay Nakamura, in technicality, isn't actually gay. He is a weapon.
Yeah, he is spy.
He is a villain, an insider. Not that there's
Yeah,
anything wrong with having a gay villain.
I actually be all for that because it was something new, something different, something fresh.
Yeah, in that I would actually have a lot of respect towards Tom Taylor if
Yeah.
Jay Nakamura actually is a gay villain who has pink kryptonite hair, to which it then lays down that this conversion of John Samuel Kent, so in other words, it makes the conversion of John fake, fraudulent.
Yep. And not being okay, meaning they did it
And,
all
and
a plan, a ploy by both
by
Anthony John and
Henry
but
Bendix.
for me. You know what? If he does that, that pure gee, that's very funny to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
like fuck me, you know,
And
that
in
was good.
that,
Yeah,
I
I'll be
would
all
have,
for that.
yeah, I'd probably have a little bit more respect towards Tom Taylor.
Yeah,
It might even go up rating wise in my reviews in like Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude because of that.
yeah,
Even though we still don't like the idea of that, because if you're trying to make out that John is meant to be bisexual, I don't think that this should be the first person that he has.
falling in love with, even though not really.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
You should at least show in the story, as we brought up, like you could have saved this for issue 20, right? That
or
would have been great for it to happen.
agreed. Which issue 20 what made sense. Yeah,
Yep.
I still not like it, but
Not
when you
only
were
that, not
something.
only that, it would also show time between John Samuel Ken plus some other female characters, then also with him spending time with Jay, and you could sort of like share his thoughts like between each of the characters. And that would work way better than what we've got here, which is coming out in November.
Yep.
Like, this is why people don't actually like things that are forced, instead prefer it organic.
Yeah.
This is just too early,
And feel rushed.
like way too early in the story to actually do this.
As I said in my review of my issue 4, with still my issue 4 is not great. This feels now gang and all, this feels but they rushing it. Issue 5, which we all know that could go, which I
Yeah,
will do enough. Okay, I won't do another now. The video I'm gonna do issue 6. I do want to talk the comments and stuff. The comments are super funny and talk about that stuff and turn pretty. But I was sneezing all that protesting stuff. This feels all manipulation. All this feels more and more Jay like pushing John to the dark route. To the point
yep,
that he on
yep,
his agenda,
yep.
which would make
And
John bad,
yep. And
which
one
can open
thing
the door
that
to
I have,
Magnet.
yeah, and one thing that I have brought up before in another previous live stream is that um, the way the story has been brought across by Tom Taylor. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not organic in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It feels more like a facade. The people that's right. That's what I was thinking of. There are some members, even in the Twitter community, that are like all happy. And one of their responses are, oh, now that John's bisexual, he's not going to become a tyrant. Or now that John's got a boyfriend, he's not going to become a tyrant.
That's
Sorry.
not how it works.
Sorry. Not at all. Right?
Idiots.
You are being played for fools. And DC knows that they're playing you for fools. And I'm saying that they are playing you for fools.
I said it in my rant video. Okay, my rant video, I will admit that me jumping the gun. I can admit that I may have jumped the gun that when I was pissed off. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is it?
That's understandable. That's understandable. We all need to have a rant and let off some steam and vent.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Even though both Tevye and myself have also read through Future State, yes, we also get to see him have a friendship or relationship with Yara Flor.
Yeah.
Right? We do get to see that. And we haven't even seen that, right? We haven't even seen that happen yet in the present run.
Yeah. And we all know the Shazam series got the Future State. Issue 4 came out that issue, pardon me, and that got the whole got them all in Hellstar, and with the Future State Black Adam.
Yep.
Wait, that doesn't and because in Future State we know I didn't have it Raven, but then apparently the main bad guy is Dane, this angel killer, who's a demon. What? The way that issue ended up in hell, man, I didn't know what the hell we have in that issue. What the fuck did I read?
Yeah, right. There are still things that are in line to set things closer to what might actually become Future State. Right? Future State is basically the goalpost to which things will be drawing near to.
No, the one Future State that doesn't have it, the Flash. That's not happening. Okay? God, Jeremy Allen's running the current Flash run. It's really good. It's only a good DC book. Read Flash with Jeremy Allen and Wally West. It's great. It's my favorite series right now. It's way better than any kind of I don't read Flash. I highly recommend it.
That's a good recommended. That's a good recommendation for those who are viewing the channel right now, Tevye. And I'm looking forward to picking up issue 777 of The Flash. I'll probably even review it on the channel. That's if I've got something to review that week as well, or depending what things that I've got to review that week. And who knows, maybe I might pick up the trade for that particular run as well, because I do have 3 Flash Rebirth trades here.
Nice.
I still need to find the time to read them, but they are ones to which I believe they've got appearances of Damian Wayne in it, and that's why I actually brought those particular volumes. And one of them, I think, being the leading up of the Flash War.
Yep.
And I'm also getting close to reviewing something which a subscriber asked me to review, and that is Flash Forward. So that request is going to be done. It might be a little bit late, but I'm keeping my word for that subscriber that requested it of me to get it done.
Yeah, but that's the Doc Manhattan ripoff.
Did you read the Daredevil comic book? No, I haven't actually, but I am waiting for a Elektra comic book that's coming out soon. It's done in a very similar format to what they did with Deadpool. So I'm planning on picking that up because it's a full anthology of stories, and I do like the character of Elektra as well as Daredevil. So, but it's been a while since I've read some really good story on Elektra. So I'm hoping that this might actually deliver something good. If it is, I'm going to request my LCS that I get like the upcoming issues.
Chips has also been doing an excellent job with Daredevil and Elektra. The story's been great. And this connects to the Devil Rain event. Here's the thing. Devil Rain, I'm looking forward to on with the other stuff, but the tie-ins, no. I can't do another Marvel event. Marvel events, they're always been really good or they're horrible. It's
Yeah.
50-50 with them.
So
King in Black, wait, I love King in Black, but I don't want to do none of the tie-ins. I mean, that's shit.
actually, one character that I'd like to collect more on is the character of, I think it's Eddie Brock's son, Dylan.
Yeah, Darren Block, with
I-
that
I'd like,
coming
I'd
out.
like to follow that. I'd like to get some trades that follow his character. I know that he's
No,
starting.
it's not a Don Cage one. You gotta start from a Don Cage one all the way up to King in Black.
Yeah,
And then Venom issue, not 200. I think it was issue 32. It's the final Don Cage Venom issue.
yeah. Like that is some one character that I'd like to actually follow, and I think it would be nice to sort of see how that comes across. Yeah, and they did another one too called
Normie? No. Normie, he's gonna be pissed. His body's dead. He's bye-bye. Thank God. Yeah, but they
and
had me
and they
it's
also did they also did a comic series called The Good Son,
Yeah, with
which I
acting
feel like you
Darren
get the
Block.
trade for that as well.
It's a weird story. It's kind of like Dog Super Sons. Thank John Neyman, but I'm a dogger. Well, it's having Normie and Eddie's son.
Yeah. Well, I know that only time will be the best judge in regards to Jay Nakamura's character in regards to the comics. Do you have any thoughts or theories yourself in regards to Jay Nakamura? I know I've brought up mine. Even if you like share some things that might be the same, that you
I
go
do have
ahead.
some theories. My theory is that is spy basically made with John to be manipulated, and he's manipulating Young to do all these stupid ideas with the climate change bullshit. Which, again, I'll be doing a video on that article before I have my own thoughts on that stupid idea. Which stop, like the whole. Well, climate change is important. I do support that James that need to be fixed in our world. But DC unit that doesn't make sense. No, that's such a bad idea in comics. But that's the topic altogether. I'll be doing it. But after like himself, I had two theories. One theory he's a spy planted by Bendix because he's using him as a weapon against John to manipulate him and to turn into this monster and defeat the state bullshit. Option B, Jay Nakamura does not give a damn about Benedict and he's not working for him. He's doing his own agenda to manipulate John for his own uses.
And
Meaning
that's
this is to put John to the extreme.
yep, and that's some good thoughts and some theories. And I think it's nice to sort of like talk about this again, sort of like in the community too, because without our thoughts and theories about certain characters and how the story might end up going, yeah, even though it could turn out completely the opposite of what we expect, one thing that I find is lacking in sort of like some comics today, and not just some comics, but also movies, whatever else, is surprise.
Same.
Where is surprise in storytelling? Like when you're reading a story, right, you might think one thing at the beginning of a story, but by the time you reach the middle of a story and you reach that middle part, you might be in for a big surprise of something that you didn't expect to happen. Like brings up creativity, and we need creativity, like whether it's in
Whatever.
like the comic book reader community, even if it's in, say, the movie community, or those people who enjoy movies, that community, and some of them also interject and cross over. You do get to see that happen, not just with that, but also with manga too. You get to see people expand on what they think is going to happen in the story. But when the story begins to come out, like what Tom Taylor did on October the 11th, you've spoiled the story. You've spoiled the story. You would be better off saving that for when the readers pick it up on the day and find out what's going to happen. Yeah, creativity that doesn't ruin comic books, the comics or the anime. Yeah,
Yep. And games as well.
yeah. And that creativity is important, like for us in the community, or in right, because without us having something to talk about, and this is sometimes where solicitations, even when they give away something in a cover, maybe some covers need to be blurred out.
Mm-hmm. Or you need a variant cover.
Or you replace it with, say, a different type of cover as not to give away the spoiler in the story. Like the very fact that it's got DC Pride on the cover. Okay, spoiler, we know what the fuck's going to happen. What's the use of picking it up now? Right? You're going to get people that are comic buyers that are like that. What's the use of picking up that issue? I already know what's going to happen because they've got this trade dress on it and it's got these variant covers. What's the
And
fuck?
I got John J. Nakamura at a couple.
Yep.
Whoopee fucking good.
Yep.
With the
And
cover
I guarantee you, when they bring it out as the trade, that is going to be the trade press cover.
Fuck. God damn it.
Think about it. It's issue 5. Trades are normally, right, when soft cover or hardcover trades come out, they have at least 5 to 6 issues of it.
Yep.
This is the 5th issue. We already know what's going to be happening in the 6th and 7th. All right.
I will be doing a video on that maybe tonight or tomorrow when this rising's over.
Yeah. So that means when the 7th issue comes out, that's already going to be covering trade paperback volume 2, having to do with climate change.
We don't know what issue 8, issue 9 is yet.
Yeah, that is true, but I feel that because of the political involvement in the John Samuel King storytelling, that is going to be the one that they push to the front.
Yeah. But my whole thing for issue 9, we find that the J. Nakamura is a spy. So that means they talk about something bullshit.
Yeah.
That'll be funny, and I'll be laughing because your Twitter, I think we feel David. You like it, and I'll be laughing. Ha! You more, you felt hook on singer. Oh, that was funny.
Yep. Shows like Blood of Zeus, Invisible, The Boys, Umbrella Academy, Spectacular Spider-Man have character development. Yes.
So Young Justice and so did My Academia, and but at the Doom Patrol.
Yep.
So what did the show, did the animation show, what Young Justice and Doom Patrol.
Yep.
Both shows are fucking fantastic.
Yep. I also missed a couple of his posts. It's really good that Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson have a child now.
Kind of in Dark Ages. That's true.
Um,
Good even
yeah.
Tom Taylor, but that is good.
Are you excited for the Eternals or Black Adam at the moment? Probably more so Black Adam because it looks more excitable. It
Yeah,
is
more like
DC,
that.
but I don't really like any of the trailers of the Eternals so far. I think it could have been better if they sort of like kept to it being more Jack
Yeah,
Kirby-ish.
start doing stupid stuff. Agreed.
Um, then he is talking on like some of the things that we brought up before. He also addresses video games and manga. Yep. And moving to his latest comment, Demon Slayer, Kingdom Heart,
Kingdom Hearts and Attack on Titan.
Yep. Also have
Attack on Titan, here's the thing. The ending is controversial beyond belief, and it's not that great.
Yep. But I did hear that the end of it was fixed up. So
Yeah, we'll talk
that
about that.
so by the time that it comes out here in the English trade, the English manga trades, it might actually show two different stories, like for that last particular issue.
One of a dark ending, one of
So we'll get to
a
see the first
happy
one,
ending.
but we'll also get to see the second one. Now that is sometimes something that can like show in even a trade paperback. I believe they also covered it in the Death in the Family one.
Yeah.
Having to do with the trade paperback, which works around the death of Jason Todd. But if you end up collecting the trade paperback for it, they also include the additional one, like where he survives. And I think that is good. That is great that they actually do that to show that, okay, we had two different story ideas as to where we were going to go with this. This is the original, and this is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The one where he dies, the one where he survives. And I thought that was actually really good of DC Comics to do that because it shows, okay, it shows that they did have a plan, but because of how voting went, this is how it turned out. But because it is, we're still going to show you the alternative ending.
With the anime movie, the exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Ruby needs to fix and Ruby needs to be.
I don't want Ruby. I don't want Boo. So no comment.
And it's really interesting and it's really good. And it would be good to see, say, more discussion with other members in the comic book community. Hey, if any other community members would even like to join on, say, one of these live streams, when I actually bring up the topic of Thoughts, Furies, and spoiler live stream again, let me know. Because if you've got any theories that you would like to share in regards to, say, a particular comic character, comic series, right? Number one, it gets your voice out there. Not just mine, but also your voice out there. It gives you an opportunity to shield your channel as well.
Yep.
Right? It gives you that freedom to do that. And even don't forget, also do it on your own channel. Like share your thoughts and theories in regards to said characters. And if you'd like someone to sort of like share that, including this channel, I'd happily do it. I think that would be great. Because there are some smaller channels that might be smaller than mine that are looking to, say, get up in the 200s. Hey, I'd like to help you get up into the 200s. I know I'm still slowly pushing towards 250. Hey, I'll get there in all due time. When it's there, I'm thinking of maybe having another subscriber celebration stream and give a big thanks to the subscribers because I can't do this without you. All right, your voice is just as important as mine. I don't care what your political background is. I don't care what your religious creed is. Jewish, Christian, whatever. Hindu. Right? And that's why one of the things with Rainbow Press and comics, it's comics news and a colorful attitude. Now, the colorful attitude, yes, it does give you the grounds to speak your mind. Like, one thing I recently did is I ended up going to another channel. I'm not going to give the channel's name. But you know what? The person who runs the channel is also bisexual. And yeah, I ended up giving a super chat. Very rarely do I personally do that. Very rarely. But you know what? I enjoyed the content on her channel. And I gave a comment to something that she had actually shared. And I'm sure many people might have an idea who I'm talking about. She's a lovely lady. Yeah, she's got more subs than me. I don't care. But I decided to do a bit of a super chat. And I said, that meme is one of the best memes I've seen in regards to the Superman son of Kal-El. And the meme says, instead of like the climate change stuff, it says, let's go, Brad.
Yeah, that's funny.
The best meme ever. I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
when you need something to sort of like make you smile and laugh, like, yeah, okay, you see the version that DC put out. Then you see the person that someone else has taken and turned into a meme. And it just comes off way better than what the original does. Like, if DC did that, I would prefer to see the meme version instead of the version that they want to give us. Like, I love the Let's Go Brandon one. That is fantastic. Like, that would actually draw me to being more excited to picking up the Superman Son of Kal-El than the one addressing climate change. Oh my goodness. It just makes you laugh, but you need to have that laugh. Like, even DC need to do things which they are able to laugh back at themselves and say, you remember when we had this happen? We put this one out, and of course the fans and the readers ended up doing a bit of a meme. You know what? We might just go ahead and use the meme that they used instead of using what we originally planned. Plus, a number of people actually seem to enjoy it more than the one that we've put out there. Yeah, it might upset Tom Taylor, but you know what? The fans are going to love DC Comics for it. The fans and readers are going to love DC Comics for it. And I guarantee you, whether you like speculators or not, I could see even speculators jump on board and say, Did you hear DC Comics have changed the trade dress for this one to this now? All right, and that's going to weigh up on the availability of, say, certain covers. Like, if you still want to get that original cover, you can still get that original cover. But now they've got this cover, which says "Let's Go Brandon," which will now be made the original trade dress. Like, if you do want to get the original, you can still get the original, but they might make it a variant instead, but make the Let's Go Brandon one the main trade dress variant. Well, I think we're pretty much done with some of the thoughts, theories, spoilers, and reviews. I really enjoyed getting to talk about the Super Sons animated movie.
Yep.
So that was really good. And thank you, Tevier, for managing to make it. And also sharing what you shared as well on the channel, including your thoughts and theories around Jay Nakamura.
Yep.
And I'm glad I got to share my thoughts as well as yourself. And does Michael Brent or anyone else who's still watching the channel, do you have any thoughts or theories on who Jay Nakamura might be in the Superman Son of Kal-El?
Yep.
Check out the Catwoman animated movies 2022.
Next year.
If not, it's now time to begin to end the live stream. And I want to thank everyone who managed to make it. That includes Michael Brent, I think, who's been here for pretty much beginning to end. So, pretty loyal subscriber. Thank you very much. As well as Xavier Smoker. He's actually one of the loyal subscribers too. So,
yep.
His response, no, I have no theories. No.
Well,
that's fine. That's fine. But thank you very much anyway. It would just be nice to know in case you did have any thoughts or theories on him. And it would have been nice for to anyone else who actually reviews the video to know that, okay, this is someone else that went to their stream. They shared something that they might have had a thought or theory on. No comment. Okay, that's fine. No, I have no theories. No carpet. No comment. So, thank you very much anyway, Michael Brent. And I hope you have an awesome day. I really do. And you too, Xavier.
Thank you, man.
And please don't forget to check out the Rainbow Press and Comics website. You can also find that in my profile description, but I'm not too sure if Xavier's got it in his, though. He might need to fix it up on his profile so you can see his comic reviews and whatever else that he shared on the channel, on the website.
Yep.
It might be something that he can fix up later on. He doesn't have to do it straight away. So until then, let's keep it colorful and have yourself an awesome day.
Bye.